Warning, the following video may have some issues audio-wise and model-wise due to the fact this is a new PC and I'm trying to figure out every setting right now. Thank you guys so much for watching anyway. Let's get back to the video. Hi, I'm Zaergis, and you might be wondering, hey, why are you on your VTuber model? And if you're new to this channel, you're like, hey, you're a VTuber? Yeah, that's correct. I'm a VTuber. Hi. My name is Zaergis. We talked about this anyway. We're making a VTuber group today. If you didn't read the title, that's what we're doing. You might be curious, where did this idea come from? Well, obviously because I watch VTubers all the time. That's where the idea came from. I thought that was pretty obvious. For the longest time, I've always wanted to make a VTuber group because it seems like a nice challenge as a artist to character design. And I was like, hey, we don't practice character design enough. Let's do it now. And honestly, I really do need the practice. After this video, I would say I arguably do. But without further ado, let's get started. You might be curious, what kind of group do you want to make? Let's be fair. A lot of YouTuber groups have a theme. For example, Hololive, Myth. Let's not use Hololive Myth. Let's use Hololive third generation. Wait, no. For example, Hololive EN second gen. Their whole spiel is the ideas of time, space, hope, chaos, all that stuff. That's the good example. That's what we're going to deal with. That's the example. I decided to be a bit more nuanced with my approach, and I decided to do vehicles. Modes of transportation. That is what every character is practically based on. Why that? I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Really nothing else to say about that. I just thought it was cool. Anyway, let's get started. So the first character I've actually did was this one. There are some gripes I have about it, but I will deal with gripes with all the characters I have with them at the end of the explanation on how and what decisions I made for these characters. Now, this character is a speed demon, so I wanted to give them more of a racer-like vibe. So they're wearing a bodysuit, a racer bodysuit. I don't know what those are called, by the way. Feel free to tell me. I know nothing about races. I don't watch sports like that. No, make them a bit of a racer, give them a coat because it adds more definition to the character. I think definition is the right word. If not, oh well. I gave them horns because if you were to black out a character, what I've learned from a video that I will probably put up on screen, what I've learned about character design, especially for VTubers, is that if you black them out, they have to look at least noticeable because it makes it look better. It's just a better look. So I decided to give them horns. One side of them is broken, basic stuff. And I also decided to give them straight hair. The only reason I decided to give them straight hair was because a lot of the references for racer girls I found were like, they all had pretty much straight hair. And I was like, is that just the norm? Like, it was pretty straight. Like, pretty much they all had straight hair for the most part. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about it because I didn't provide that many accessories. I gave them earrings that resemble wheels for a bit. I don't know. I didn't make them colored that. I didn't color them that way like at the end of the day because I wanted to get this done quickly, and I decided to do the basic colors of everything, mostly to give like a feel of like what kind of colors I would give these characters. For this one, I decided on purple, red, and black. It just felt right. It just felt sleek. I wanted a more sleek design for this character, and that's just how it came out. And plus, minus, plus, my favorite part about this character is probably the seatbelt belt that I gave it. That's not the final design of the seatbelt belt. Let's be real. Now, for the parts that I hate. Arms. For some odd reason, I couldn't do arms when I drew every single character. Arms on this character is huge. And also the hands. It's their hands. Obviously, I'm going to hate them. Those are the few things I hate about this character design. I guess I could have made the eyes a bit more defined, even for like a practice proof of concept character. I probably could have done that, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I don't hate the design. There's just a few things I would change about it. Definitely, if I were to redesign her, I'd probably fix up the outfit a bit, fix the arms because the arms need to be fixed. That's about it for the most part. Now, there is a character between the other characters, but that character is my favorite character that I made. So I'm going to talk about the character I hate making the most. Does that make sense? I think so. I think that works for a video. Talk about the hated one. Yeah, let's talk about my hated drawing. So this is designed to be an angle. Okay, at a cute angle. It was an angel motif with like maybe some slight animalistic vibes from the ears. I decided to go for something non-traditional ears because you know, the whole silhouette thing for one, and for two, I just think, you know, common ear angels, they're all done. They're all passe. I think I'm using passe, right? Maybe, I don't know. But this design, for the life of me, I could not do. Okay, first of all, I hate the body composition that I chose. It's kind of bad. I tried to rectify it with adding a garter belt because I was like, maybe it'll make it look a bit more like it was intentional. I chose like Palutena colors, which I did like about it, except I did add blue because it's a pilot. I chose a traditional modern day pilot, and you know, the blue's nice and all, like the blue and the green works well together. However, it just, I don't think I used it correctly. I don't think I used the blues and the yellows correctly together when you see the final color of this design for the most part. And also the feet's kind of small in my opinion. I would definitely fix that if possible. Besides all those things, it's not too bad. It's just that I feel like this design really reminds me of my past art where it was like kind of like this all the time, where it's just not proportioned correctly, like to my standards, like to what I like. I mean, I still struggle with proportions, and that's just a thing that I keep working on. I'm still working on it to this day. If I were to redo this design, I'd probably scrap almost everything and just redo it. However, I would probably keep the color scheme, just make it a bit more dynamic, go be a bit more bold with the clothing design, because I obviously struggle with clothing design. So that's everything I hate about the design and what I would change differently. And some of the likes I had too. I did say some likes, so I'm not really mad about that. Well, let's go on to the next one. My favorite one. Now, every single VTuber group has a very short person. So let's make a VTuber that's very short. And if you can guess what this VTuber is based off of, you get a cookie, okay? You get a cookie. You get a digital cookie. Actually, you already get those. So I'm going to give you like a photo of a cookie. That's what you get. Anyway, this is my favorite one based on bikers, okay? So I decided to do something based on like Piper and Lucy from Zenless Zone Zero in a way. And also just, I guess, give some Bay vibes, Bay from Hololive. I feel like I definitely captured their expressions well. I gave them a basic outfit, you know, common leather jacket type dealio with the filio, and some goggles just to give it a bit more accessories, as well as like a scarf. You know how they like sometimes have scarves to put over their face when they like ride the bike. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. It's like a raider. It's like a bike, like a biker gang. You know, and the scarf even has teeth like Tokyo Ghoul, another one that I can't think of. And Dandadan. Obviously, it wasn't inspired by Dandadan because that's actually the last one I thought of. I totally forgot he had something like that. But that's besides the point. I feel like this one, I was definitely more engaged because I actually had fun drawing this character. If I had to say some things I do not like, it's probably the arms again. As I said before, I couldn't draw arms for the life of me this day, and all of them have the same arm problem. They all have weird arms that I would like to fix so bad, but I was kind of too late by the time I noticed it, and I was like, you know what? Let's just stick with what we got. Besides that, I think this one came out pretty well. And now for the reveal. If you guys guessed that this character was based on Ghost Rider from the Marvel comics, you would be correct. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, dog. I probably was thinking about Marvel Rivals, and then it just suddenly led to that, and I was like, oh man, that'd be a cool one. I regret nothing, okay? I regret nothing. Anyway, that does it for the explanations. Now, I guess this was a more talkative video, a more informative video, if you will. Nothing really funny to say. However, if you guys enjoyed it, tell me you enjoyed it. I don't know. Comment down below you enjoyed it and stuff. I really don't know what to say by the end of this. Want to see full models of these characters? Let's get it to 1,000 likes, because honestly, I don't feel like doing this. If you want to see a beta version of these characters, give it to 500 likes. And if you guys want to see a part 2 of this series of making a VTuber group, especially this group in general, we'll make that a small goal. We'll make that like 10 likes. 10 likes, I drop a part 2 of a second generation Anyway, subscribe, I guess. Bye. Wait, before you click off the video, to my left, I believe, you will see a video that you might like. Anyway, you didn't hear from me. Bye.